Hello and welcome to Quiz Feedback. You should have your half-sheet written response in front of you along with your yellow learning sheet. If you don't have either of those, pause the video, go get them, and come back and start when you're ready. You'll see that I've marked your paper with highlighter and pen. Each color means something different, and I have this reference sheet in front of you. So take a look. If it's marked in blue, that means that the adjectives and nouns didn't agree. And usually I mark the ends of the words for that because the ending of the word was plural for the noun where it was singular for the adjective, or maybe it was a feminine adjective but it was a masculine noun, or maybe it was both. It just means your nouns and adjectives didn't agree. A verb conjugation, I marked those in pink. So if you say you didn't conjugate a verb, I highlighted that verb. It may be that you just had the wrong conjugation at the end or were missing a letter, so I just marked that. Orange means that you used a form of ser instead of a form of estar like you should have. For example, used es instead of esta. Pluralization, I didn't actually end up doing that much because most of it was with adjective-noun agreement. So, but if you see something marked in green, that was pluralization. Other errors were marked in yellow. For example, if you said yo gusta instead of the proper me gusta, or maybe de el instead of the contraction del. If something's crossed out, that just means that you need to remove that. And yeah, it shouldn't be in there. Either some letters that shouldn't be in a word or an entire word that should not be there should be removed. I may have written a letter above what was crossed out or a word above it to show what should have gone in its place. Let's look at a sample of how I might have marked this paper using one of your classmates, good old Skippy McFritter biscuits in 7th hour. All right, here's Skippy's paper. And you see Skippy did a good job writing lots of sentences, but let's go through and mark because he does have some room for improvement. All right, starting off at the top, hay están muchas cosas en Señor Cox's clase. Well, let's see. Let's get rid of we've got I and están there, but we don't want to have both. It's either one or the other. Let's get rid of están so that Skippy can just say there are lots of things in Mr. Cox's class. Over here with Mr. Cox's class, notice how we're using the English possessive there, but it should actually, in Spanish, to say the possessive, we'd say la clase de Señor Cox. So that's how you would say that. So I'll just squiggle underline that and you can see the proper form above. Next sentence, el silla está detrás de el pupitre. Well, we've got some adjectives that don't agree here with the noun. For example, silla is feminine, but el is masculine. I'm going to mark those as a note that Skippy needs to look back at adjective-noun agreement. Está, oh, good verb there, but don't forget the accent. All right, now one more thing in this sentence, de and el, that's an error. So let's highlight it or mark it in yellow. And it should be del. So there's a mark to remind Skippy of that. Next one, los carteles está al lado de la puerta. Well, hang on. Carteles is plural, but está is the singular form. It should have an N at the end. Add an N means they got a friend. So I'm going to mark at the end here saying we're missing a letter for the proper conjugation. It should be están. Add an N because they got a friend. Al lado de la puerta, that's looking good. All right, next one. Hay es un basura. Well, hang on. Don't say is, it's one or the other. So let's just go hay una. Hang on. Here's another one. Basura is feminine, un is masculine. Let's highlight them so that Skippy knows that we should match. It should be una basura, not un. Enfrente de la clase, that's looking good. Next sentence, it should be las computadoras. Computadoras is plural. La should be pluralized to add an S. We'll mark that. Las computadoras están encima del mesas. Están is a proper verb there because it's plural, more than one. Let's just remember to put the accent. Add an N means they got a friend, so that's correct. Let's put the accent there. Encima del mesas. Well, hang on. Mesas is plural and feminine, but del is singular and masculine. So let's highlight that. Skippy, you need to make those agree. De las mesas is what it should be. Feminine and plural. De las mesas. All right, next sentence. Hay tres computadoras. Hang on. That's English spelling. Computer, that's not how we spell it in Spanish. It's computadora. So cross that out, put the A there. Hay tres computadoras están. Well, there are 3 computers are behind the class or in the back of the class. We don't want to have both. Let's cross out the I this time. Now we got 3 computers are behind the class. That's proper. Add that accent there on the están. There we go. Next one. Pantalla is feminine, el is masculine, so highlight that. Gotta make a match. And we said, Skippy said, es al lado de el cartel, but hang on, that's location. So it should be está. So you said instead of estar, let's fix that, mark it in orange. And then, of course, again, de and el should be a contraction, del cartel. All right, next one. Yo soy, well, that's, again, if we're talking about location, debajo del papel, then it should be estar. Yo estoy. Mark that in orange. And one more thing here. Papel and verde. Verde is the adjective. Where do adjectives go in Spanish? That's right. They go after. So let's circle that and draw an arrow to show that the adjective should go after. It should be yo estoy debajo del papel verde. All right, one more. Yo, and oops, Skippy forgot to conjugate hablar. So let's highlight that verb. Yo hablo en la clase. And we'll add a period just to tidy it up. And that is how I have been marking papers. So use this and look at your paper now and think about what 3 things you can do to improve for your next writing assessment. On your learning sheet, would you just write down 3 things you can do based off of the feedback you're getting here, 3 things you can watch for, improve, polish up for next time to improve your writing. And in Skippy's case, he had some conjugation troubles, so on his learning sheet, he might write something like this. I should check my verb conjugations. And Skippy's writing that down to remember that he needs to follow up on that in his next writing assessment and make sure he's being careful with verb conjugations. Now look also, he's got a lot of difficulty with adjective-noun agreement. And so why don't we write down something about that? I will make sure my plural nouns have plural adjectives and that they match. Skippy could also write something about making sure that masculine nouns match with masculine adjectives and feminine nouns match with feminine adjectives. And he's got room to do one more, but I'll just show you those 2 examples. Write 3 things on your learning sheet that you can do to improve for next time and use that to follow up. Thank you and good work.